I'm Ashton from the Crypto Coin Show, and today on Blockchain Interviews, we have back with us Vince Hoffman from Lingo to discuss real-world assets, sustainability, loyalty, and rewards in crypto and Web3. Vince, welcome back to the show. It's great to see you again.
Fantastic. Great to be here, Ashton. We've got a lot to catch up on. I think it's been like a year or so since we last met.
Yeah, it's been a while, and I've been seeing Lingo across X and overall in the Web3 space, and it seems like the community's gotten really big. I know your team just launched officially, so I would love to dive into all those details. Maybe you can kick it off from a high level for those who don't know the details into Lingo, how these loyalty platform works, and then we can just get up to date on all the latest details.
100%. So just a little overview on what Lingo is. I'll start off with our tagline. We're building the world's most rewarding token. And before I get to what we are, if we look at crypto projects over the last 10 or so years, you'll find that most projects have always been very dependent on the constant influx of new users and new investors into the project to keep the project going. That's why we always say there's a bit of a Ponzi-nomics are quite widespread in the crypto space, or they have been. So we wanted to create a token that was really, truly rewarding, and it came with a strong sense of sustainability and less risk. So really, what it all boils down to is our economic model and how we do things. So, a lot of projects in the past, some of them had the best of intentions to give back to the community by giving the transaction fees directly back to them, but that's just more sell pressure and just trying to capitalize on speculation and hype. So what we do is we actually accumulate real estate through transaction fees. We've got a 2.5% transaction fee for all on-chain transactions. So the more transactions happen, the more real estate we can accumulate, which means, and we take 100% of the profit from our real estate to fuel the ecosystem rewards. We're not actually tokenizing real estate. So the RWA model is not something that people are most familiar with. We're not tokenizing and fractionalizing real estate. We are accumulating real estate through transaction fees and trading volumes. Therefore, the more real estate we acquire, the more rewards we can push to our community, because we use 100% of the profit every month. And then more rewards we push, the more our community grows. The more it grows, the more transactions, means more real estate, more rewards, so on and so forth. So what's really quite cool is, it's just, leveraging that community growth and that trading to get yield generating real estate, which ultimately is, pushing the rewards every single month, regardless of market conditions. Because, when we're purchasing real estate, while it could be any sort of building that generates a monthly rental yield, we specifically target short-term rentals within the hospitality industry to optimize for that monthly yield. It has to be in a location that's evergreen, so the booking rate is very high throughout the year, and that way we optimize for the yield. So even when it's a bear market, we're still, the real estate is still using 100% of the profit every month, and the reward pool only gets larger and larger as we accumulate real estate. And that's really the core essence of our economic model, which is sort of the fundamental basis that gives us sort of an edge over other crypto projects.
Yeah, it's a really interesting model because, as you mentioned at the beginning, there's some Ponzi-nomics or finding ways to generate value inside of Web3 for users. And I think the way that makes most sense is to, have something real world, tangible. Real estate investing has been around for decades and centuries compared to crypto. And people understand, rental income. Some people, that's their main thing. And it's sustainable. So being able to get a community in a decentralized way to tie into that and earn from those rewards, it makes a lot of sense. And last time we spoke, the community was growing, but it's nowhere near what it is now. And in the last month, there's also been another launch of the token and more parts of it going officially live. Can you talk about the growth over 2024 and where exactly the platform is at right now?
100%. So let me take us back to sort of December last year. And the whole team was actually here in Mauritius, and we were building and doing our thing. And then we came up, then our CEO had an inspiration. Basically, our biggest objective at that time was to build the biggest, most qualified community as quickly as possible. We tried a lot of different community growth tools up until that point, and we were quite underwhelmed with the results. So, and we did find through a lot of research that SocialFi applications were very effective at building your community through, sort of helping people earn crypto through their social media engagements. And we basically took the best elements of the most successful SocialFis, reverse engineered it into our own SocialFi. And within 6 weeks, the community grew incredibly. We had, I can't remember all the metrics, but I think it was like 6 million tweets. Oh, sorry, I can't remember all the metrics, but it was millions and millions of tweets. The community grew by a few 100,000. Our email database grew to 650,000. We had millions of dollars inside the wallets that were connecting to us. It was just a really huge success. And then we started also partnering up with other great projects which wanted to also grow their communities with a qualified audience. And we partnered with a lot of great projects like Athea, there was Redacted Coin. There's quite a number of them. But yeah, so anyway, back then to now, it's all about community growth, building that awesome qualified community. We had our pre-sale that did really well. And yeah, we also developed the 2 other applications. So yeah, we developed Rewards Base, and that was basically a fully on-chain experience for our community to earn rewards every single day. It was a very fun little animation. They would crack an egg, sign a transaction, very, very cheap, and they'd get their raffle tickets, between 1 and 5 raffle tickets per day, because we were shipping rewards to our community every single day. Something that's been very important for us has been rewards, and it's all about reward mechanisms, and also where those rewards come from. So it's all about rewarding your community and making it see that we're walking the talk as early as we can. So anyway, with this rewards base, we were the top. We had the most on-chain activity for quite a while on Base and on Ton, because we also developed another community growth tool in partnership with another team called DROP. And with DROP, we had 8 million in the end, 8 to 9 million new users through DROP. Just a lot of community growth leaps and bounds that we've made. And as you know, we recently launched, we had our TGE on December 12th. And I can tell you the 6 weeks leading up to TGE were like 12 to 14-hour workdays every day with the team. We're together in Dubai, then Mauritius. It's been quite a ride, but incredible. The launch, I think we had $50 million in trading volume within, I think, the first 2 days about.
Wow.
We've already generated some platform fees and accumulated money to buy more real estate. I know that our launch on KuCoin was the greatest launch on KuCoin this year. And yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in the pipeline.
Wow, that's very cool. And now with millions of community members, how can they help contribute to the future of growing the direction of the rewards of the real world assets? Do they actually get a say in the real estate, where it is, or where to contribute?
Beautiful. So, the community is at the heart of everything we do. Yeah, on one hand, it's about rewarding them, getting new users, retention of those users. And an important part of that, our community have been very instrumental in a lot of little pivots that we've made with the products, with branding, and all sorts from the get-go. We did a lot of A/B testing with the community. And we want to have the community on a deeper level making decisions. So we do have a DAO in the pipeline that will be, I think you'll see that in our coming roadmap. And they will make decisions on the type of real estate that we have. So because we've got quite a lot of real estate and things in front of us, a lot of options. And obviously we are making the best, most well-informed decisions at the moment to acquire the real estate that we are getting. But ultimately we want to empower our community to help us make those decisions and have them part of that whole sort of flow. So as things evolve, when we are buying real estate, maybe we got a decision between France and New York, and then we have the community sort of vote on it.
That'd be cool. I will definitely check that out. So with the getting involved in the DAO and actually contributing, when you say the rewards go back to the community members, is that for the members and people that actually vote in the DAO, or do they just have to hold Lingo, or do they actually have to stake it and contribute into the ecosystem?
Okay, so to officially, be part of the community, essentially, I mean, there's two things here. One, you would need to buy Lingo and then lock it in our wallet to stake it. And then obviously join the community so that you can actually have a two-way directional communication and keep updated and give your feedback. But yeah, you buy Lingo, you lock it, and while your Lingo is staked, that's where you have the opportunity. That's where you earn your power miles, and those power miles can then be used to get all sorts of rewards as we move forward.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so with power miles, I think a lot of people are trying to relate loyalty or community rewards to traditional loyalty platforms. Like, hopefully I can fly for free around the world, or get hotels and stays. Maybe I could stay in the if it's not short-term rental somewhere where Lingo actually owns it. That would be cool with the rewards. So with this kind of reward, how do you actually spend reward, or how do you make partners to actually be able to realize those rewards?
So as I mentioned to you earlier, as we acquire real estate that generates monthly rental yield in fiat, we already have that sort of liquidity from our real estate to spend on rewards. And we have numerous partners which also open up access to other reward sort of verticals of rewards. For example, one of our partners is Phison app, and through them we can actually acquire shoes through Nike, Spotify accounts, Spotify, Netflix. They've got thousands of brands, and it's through partners that you sort of connect and make things happen. We've got the liquidity, and then they give us the connection to a lot of those brands and rewards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's very cool. And one thing that I know people fear about in the traditional reward system is you have some rewards and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to use that, if it's for a vacation, they're going to use it next year or the year after. But then, something comes out from the company that the points are devalued and now your rewards are worth less. Is there a fear of that happening with Web3 rewards, or is there a way to actually make them stay the same value or increase in value?
Okay, so it's interesting. So, while Lingo is a speculative asset, it's not, tokens don't represent ownership of real estate. It is a fully speculative asset. As I mentioned, you lock your Lingo in your wallet, you earn power miles per day, depending on how much you've staked. And there's different sort of tiers. I think there's a lot of this is going to become clear as we start publishing things. And we've got all sorts of rewards coming through. Like, as I mentioned, we had Aethia, Redacted Coin. There's a lot of other token projects which are distributing their tokens through our platform. So when you stake your Lingo, you're getting tokens from other projects.
Okay.
So with regards to the points being devalued, I don't see how that would work or how that would happen, because that's not a sort of a speculative asset. You would lock your Lingo and then you're eligible to win so many rewards which are fueled by our real estate, essentially.
That's really cool. I think people who are deeper into crypto probably have more value on I'm getting more cool, innovative tokens as rewards as well. That sounds good to me. I'd be curious on how it would sound to somebody who's used to traditional loyalty platforms, but they're just getting into Web3. Do you have an understanding of the directed audience of people that are getting into crypto? They're not deep in it, but they're looking for loyalty platforms. Is it targeted to newer entrants to Web3 as well, or just like the hardcore crypto natives?
So, a big part of the inspiration of what got Lingo going came from the acknowledgement that blockchain technology is at twice the adoption rate of the internet in the 90s. We know that there's about 1 billion crypto curious people right now which have not dipped their toes in the water for 3 main reasons. And that's because crypto is too complicated and hard to understand, too risky, and a lack of tangible value. That's why we sort of created the system where it's easy to understand and easy to use and rewarding. But at the end of the day, when you look at traditional loyalty reward systems, people are expected to spend thousands of dollars over months, sometimes years, just to get a little bit of value in the form of a free flight or night in a hotel. And that's if your points don't expire, which they very often do. So with Lingo, it's you buy it once, you lock it, you get rewarded for life. And you can sell your tokens, you can unlock your tokens and sell them back at whatever market rate there is. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. And with the launch now just happening, sounds like it was pretty successful in December. What's the next steps for growth for 2025? I know you mentioned the DAO is part of the roadmap. What else? More real estate, more rewards. How else can you grow the platform to more millions of new entrants?
Well, right now leading to this point, it's been such an incredible journey. I think my CEO could write a book. In terms of what's coming next, it's all about keeping promises, as he says. So right now, it's a big, strong focus on the accumulation of real estate. We've got quite a few paths opening up now. We actually will be publishing our roadmap very soon, and with that, you'll be able to see a lot of the things that are happening right now. But yes, it's all about real estate. We have a bunch of listings which we're also lining up because listings in those markets is also a very, very important factor. Decentralized exchanges as well as centralized exchanges, so that we're capturing, but we want to capture the Web2 market, as I mentioned, and people can also buy the Lingo directly from the website with credit card. The centralized exchanges, and directly from the website if people want to. Also worth mentioning, one of the ways how we're also going to reach the Web2 audience are through our ambassadors. And as you know, we've got two different kinds. We've got our celebrities and our sort of mainstream influencers made up of musicians, models, superstar athletes, you name it. These guys are brilliant at what they do, and they've got a huge audience, but they didn't make their brand name or reputation speaking about blockchain or crypto. And we all know how a lot of influencers have been burned historically. So we've been very, very careful on how we, leverage this sort of influencer aspect. In that sort of our superstar Web2 celebrities, these guys are predominantly sharing content. They're going to share our content and share the content of our Web3 KOLs who have made their brand name and reputation in the crypto space. But essentially, we're leveraging their audience and their reach, and they're going to share our sort of brand message and the value proposition to the Web2 market. Essentially, we want to do for Web3 what Nike did for shoes or what Red Bull did for energy drinks. We have not had a crypto to date that's really sort of walking the talk, driving that stakeholder value, and sort of the consumer crypto. We want to be that consumer crypto first, consumer crypto that goes mainstream. I mean, just imagine if when you're walking through New York or any sort of big city, the majority of those buildings are owned and they exist to sort of enrich an elite few. Imagine you're walking through some way and most of those buildings exist to reward a community. It's just such a beautiful prospect, and we've just launched, but we've already seen great signs that it's working. We're already accumulating a lot of liquidity to purchase real estate, so it's looking really, really exciting. That's the dream.
Yeah, no, that is exciting. And when you mentioned about the celebrities, it makes me think about the millions of people that could get involved, and finding the right loyalty system that can give big rewards, but also small rewards. I think nowadays, as you mentioned, things like Netflix and Spotify are enough of an incentive to get on. If you can, save $10, $20 a month. I've seen it before in Web3 where, you had to get a credit card and then they would pay for your subscription. But sometimes that's too much for people. But I feel like having something as easy as this, where you can build reward and loyalty and cover some subscriptions and hopefully work your way up to a flight or a hotel, and not have that as the pipe dream that's 2 years away, something that can get started really easily. I feel like that would really help people understand the power of Web3 and the community-based rewards.
100%. And we have quite an assortment of prizes, from large prizes to small prizes. But yeah, it's all about sort of maximizing on that, driving that value to the community, and have them like get that feeling like, oh wow, I've got this in my hands. I love it. Thank you. And you know, when they give that thank you and they tell their friends, then you got that word of mouth. Because at the end of the day, if you're making someone happy, I mean, what do you do when you're happy? You want your friends and family to know, hey, I'm happy because of this. You should try it. And ultimately, we want to drive that real value and have that knock-on effect, just outside of all the marketing and cool marketing verticals that we do have lined up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm looking forward to the next stages of growth, Vince. And you mentioned there that people can go to the Lingo site and they don't even need to know about crypto. They can use their credit card, which I think is pretty cool. Then after that, getting involved with the DAO and the community as the DAO starts to shape up more formally, and the community right now, where's the best place for people to follow along with these updates and talk to the others that are already in the community?
Beautiful. So, I mean, Twitter and Discord are the two best places to keep up to date. I mean, we are on LinkedIn as well. But yeah, Twitter, or X, I should say, sorry, and Discord. I do hope we'll have a Telegram channel in the not too distant future. I'm more of a Telegram guy, but Discord and X are the two best places to be.
Sounds great. I'm going to leave a link to the socials in the show notes below as well. I'm wishing you and the team all the best in 2025. I hope the Web3 market conditions are prosperous for bringing in new entrants, and hopefully they can get loyal and rewarded for getting involved in something as innovative as this. So thank you so much for taking the time, Vince.
Thank you for your time, Ashton. It's always a pleasure.